Hello and welcome to Spectrum News at 12. My name is Janice Kobum, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. Let's take a look at the headlines. Presidents Buhari, Osinbajo, 28 governors, ministers to begin asset declaration. More reaction trail March 18 gubernatorial and State House of Assembly elections in Akwa Ibom State. Plus, Prime Minister Sana Marin defeated by Finland's conservatives in tight election race. We'll bring you details of these headlines and other stories shortly. Many thanks for joining us once again at the news at 12. First in the news this afternoon is a report that Nigeria's leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, and the 44 ministers in the Federal Executive Council will soon start declaring their assets ahead of May 29, when their tenure will end. The Special Advisor to the Code of Conduct Bureau, CCB Chairman on General Duties, Mustafa Musa, confirmed this to newsmen that the necessary arrangement had been done for the issuance of the assets forms to the outgoing officials and their successors. Also, the outgoing presidential aides, 28 state governors and their cabinet members, National Assembly and State Assembly members and local government chairmen will equally obtain the assets declaration forms from the Code of Conduct Bureau and submit same to the CCB in line with the 1999 Constitution. According to him, the declaration compiles the provision of the Constitution which stipulates that all public officers shall declare their assets and liabilities on the assumption of office and at the end of their tenure of office. Musa noted that the President-elect Bola Tinubu, the Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima, and 28 incoming governors and their cabinet members, as well as the State Assembly members, have 3 months to submit their asset forms to the CCB. They also are required to state all properties and assets acquired within or outside the country with the value of the said assets in the currency of the country where the property is situated. And moving away from that, the federal government says it will, in the next 1 or 2 weeks, begin the demolition of multi-billion naira private jet hangars located at the Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Lagos. The federal government said the hangars were obstructing the efficient use of the International Wing Airport, noting that there is the need to demolish them to pave the way for the expansion of the new international terminal built with Chinese loans at the Lagos airport. The Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, who made the government's plan known while unveiling 10 new fire tenders at the Lagos airport, said the expansion of the new international terminal in Lagos would commence soon. According to the minister, the government agencies have been directed to come up with a document that will make the aviation industry more efficient, adding that the paper will form part of his handover notes. Meanwhile, money borrowed by federal government in the first quarter is reportedly more than 3.17 trillion naira. According to data by the Nation Economic Intelligence (NEI), the government had raised 3.17 trillion naira in the past 3 months through the issuance of regular bonds, retail saving bonds and treasury bills at the domestic capital market. The data indicated a consecutive monthly increase in borrowings in first quarter of the year, with the government raising its initial offer sizes in most instances to mop up over subscriptions to its offers. Reports say a month-on-month breakdown showed that the government raised a total of 940.62 billion naira in January, increased borrowings to 1.035 trillion naira in February, and closed the quarter with 1.96 trillion naira. On financial matters now, the 36 state governors in Nigeria have planned to meet with officials of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), among others, to iron out issues surrounding state security votes. The Nigerian Governors Forum (NGF), through its head, Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal, who announced this, said the meeting, which was slated for Tuesday, April 4, according to an invitation issued by the Director General of the Nigeria Governors Forum, Aishi Shana Akuru, would be virtual to ensure full attendance by all the relevant officers in the matter. In a statement, the Director, Media and Public Affairs of the NGF, Abdulrazaki Bello Makindo, said those invited to the meeting include the EFCC, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and the CBN. Bello Makindo further noted that the meeting will also consider deepening the management and expansion of the cashless policy, which took effect from the time of the redesigning of the national currency last year, to further the financial inclusion of all citizens in the ensuing scheme of things going forward. The NGF media aide maintained that the meeting was called at the instance of the Nigeria Financial Intelligence Unit in its letter dated March 30, which was addressed to the chairman of the NGF and signed by the NIFU director, Modibo Tiko. In the meantime, federal government's borrowings from China has reportedly grown by 209.15% under President Buhari's administration. This is as total bilateral loans rose to 219.91% from $1.58 billion as of June 2015 to $5.07 billion as of December 2022, and total borrowing from China rose from $1.39 billion to $4.29 billion. According to data from the Debt Management Office (DMO), Chinese loans make up to 84.73% of the total amount Nigeria owes to other countries of the world. The remaining 15.27% is spread across France, Japan, India, and Germany. The DMO statistics reveal that loans from China are concessional loans with interest rate of 2.50% per annum, have a tenor of 20 years and a moratorium of 7 years. In a separate development, the Presidential Transition Council has debunked a fake Twitter handle created by unethical persons since 2020. A statement signed by the Director Information for the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman, Presidential Transition Council, Willie Bassi, says the fake Twitter handle was created before the establishment and inauguration of the council. According to the statement, the PTC has nothing to do with the fake Twitter account handle, adding that approval for the establishment of the Presidential Transition Council was given by the President in February this year and was subsequently inaugurated by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Bas Mustafa, thereby exposing the imposter's irresponsible and calculated attempts to disseminate inaccurate and tainted information to unsuspecting members of the public. In another development, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged President Buhari to use his leadership position to immediately enforce the judgment by the ECOWAS Court of Justice prohibiting prosecutions of anyone on the grounds of insulting or stalking public officials online. SERAP also urged him to enforce and implement the ECOWAS Court's judgment, compelling government to respect, protect and promote freedom of expression, access to information and media freedom. In a letter signed by the organization's Deputy Director, Kola Wole Oluwadari, SERAP expressed concerns about the shrinking civic space in the country as some state governors and government institutions were reportedly using the Section 24 of the Cybercrime Act and other repressive laws to crack down on anyone seeking to assert their human rights and media freedom. And back here, some residents of Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital, have continued to react to the gubernatorial and State House of Assembly elections that was held on Saturday, 18th March 2023, calling on the incoming leaders to do better in developing the state. Speaking with our correspondent Esther Otoyo, some of them, while reacting to the outcome of the elections, commended Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for their efforts in conducting a free and fair elections, while others faulted INEC, saying that more needs to be done by the Commission ahead of Nigeria's next elections. Others in an interview urged the state citizens to accept the outcome of the elections and join in building the state. They also solicited the governor-elect Pastor Moino to ensure the continuity of peace in the state.
From the last concluded election, and from the things we saw, the videos and the experiences I personally experienced, I would say the election was not fair and fair. It might have been fair and fair in some areas, but from what I experienced from my polling units and the polling unit around my area, it wasn't fair and fair at all.
I think if I must advise or say anything as an opinion to INEC, it will help a long way if during the voting process, everyone had the cubicle, only the voter with the cubicle. They failed us when they started giving us from the presidential, when they started telling us, beavers this, beavers that, network this and that and so on. I think they failed because a lot of people didn't come out again during the governorship election, and I think it's because they don't trust the process.
My advice to new leaders is as he promised that he's going to take care of the business, women and the men, take care of everybody. I'm advising him whatsoever he said he will do, let him do it. Let him carry everybody along. Nevertheless, he should not mind about but everybody, he should carry everybody along.
The newly elected leaders, they owe us a lot. They owe us accountability, they owe us transparency, they owe us credibility, they owe us everything because we sent them there. Our votes, we went out to vote, our votes, and we believe our votes counted, even if some believe otherwise. So they owe us accountability, they owe us transparency, they owe us credibility, they owe us development in the society, they owe us a whole lot of things.
If you have any reason, or you have been given the opportunity to govern or to be the president of a particular country, irrespective of who voted or who did not vote, go in there, give your best. Even if it will take you nothing or something, just think about, be positive, give your best so that even the ones that did not vote you will have
We move now to Africa, where Rwandan President Paul Kagame has been re-elected the chairman of the ruling party, Rwandan Patriotic Front, at the party's 16th Congress. Reports say the Rwandan leader got 2,999 votes, accounting for 99.8% of the total votes, while his closest contender, Abdul Karim Halimana, got 3 votes or 0.2%. Kagame, Rwandan's president for 22 years, will now serve another 5 years as head of the Rwandan Patriotic Front, the political party he has led since 1998. Meanwhile, South Africa's main opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, DA, re-elected John Steenhuisen as its leader as it campaigns to unseat the ruling African National Congress, ANC, in next year's national election. Steenhuisen garnered 83% of the votes to beat his opponent's former Johannesburg executive mayor, Paul Slatters, who only obtained 17%. In his acceptance speech, Steenhuisen said the DA will work with other like-minded parties ahead of the 2024 elections. The re-elected leader took over the reins of the party in November 2019 following the resignation of the then DA leader, Mmusi Maimane. He will lead the party for the next 3 years.
I want to be unequivocal about the DA's view on this. The day that an ANC-EFF government takes over, it will be doomsday for South Africa. There is one unfortunate truth in politics, and that is that things can always get worse. And there is one risk that above all else threatens the future of both my family and yours. And that is the increasingly realistic prospect of an alliance between the ANC and the EFF taking power next year.
On the foreign scene now, Finnish Conservative leader Petteri Orpo has won a 3-way election race, defeating Prime Minister Sanna Marin, centre-left. Orpo secured 20.1%. Meanwhile, she continues to enjoy high poll ratings and has been widely praised for. And still on the foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump's lawyer Joe Tacopina from his Mar-a-Lago home today to face charges related to hush money payments made to an adult is expected to hand himself over to authorities on Tuesday, with a hearing due to take place in Miami, preparing for the case on Tuesday. With us. Many thanks for still being there. Now to the rest of the stories. On the business news, the country's external reserves has fallen by $1.46 billion between January and March, according to figures obtained from the Central Bank of Nigeria's CBN data on movement of external reserves. The reserves, which stood at $36.99 billion as at the end of January 2023, fell to $35.53 billion as at the end of March 2023. The CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele attributed the decline in the external reserves to the fall in crude, reflects the downtrend in crude oil prices as global uncertainties persist. Recall that in 2022, the CBN launched a program tagged RT200 FX program to boost forex supply in the country through the non-oil sector in the next 3 to 5 years. And still in business, The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies, referred to as OPEC Plus, has announced voluntary cuts to their production of crude oil amounting to about 1.15 million barrels per day, calling it a precautionary measure aimed at market stability. Reports say in October, OPEC Plus, which comprises the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and 10 allies led by Russia, agreed on output cuts of 2 million barrels per day from November, noting that members of the 23-nation oil cartel are expected to stick to their already agreed 2 million barrels per day cuts when their ministerial panel, which includes Saudi Arabia and Russia, meets virtually today. Meanwhile, the United States had argued that the world needed lower prices to support economic growth and prevent Russian President Vladimir Putin from earning more revenues to fund the Ukraine war. To health now, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, has urged the incoming administration of President-elect Bola Tinubu to increase funding for health. The association's national president, Dr. Innocent Oji, made the call in an interview in Abuja, stating that the increase should be to at least 15% of the nation's yearly budget, in line with the Abuja Declaration of 2001. Oji noted that NAD members are expecting improved remuneration to tackle the increasing economic hardship and dwindling naira value, adding that some doctors were still being owed several months of salaries and allowances, especially in the state tertiary health institutions. He urged the government to give priority attention to training both within and outside the country, with a special focus on primary health care. And still in health, medical experts have urged Nigerians to pay attention to their blood volume, stating that having a high volume of blood in the body could be dangerous. According to Johns Hopkins Medicine, a high volume of blood in the body, also called polycythemia vera, is a rare blood disorder in which there is an increase in all blood cells, particularly red blood cells, which makes the blood thicker and can lead to strokes of tissue and organ damage. The experts explain that too many red blood cells can make the blood thick and sluggish, noting that high blood volume could also cause irritating symptoms, including itching, ringing in the ears, stomach ache, nosebleeds, and blurred or double vision. We move to sports now, where Paris Saint-Germain suffered a second home defeat in a row, falling 1-0 to Lyon as they saw their lead at the top of Ligue 1 courts to 6 points. After losing 2-0 at home to Rennes 2 weeks ago, it was Lyon's Bradley Barcola who inflicted the latest loss for PSG at the Parc des Princes. The goal by Barcola, who had come on as a replacement for injured Amin Ster, made up for a missed penalty by Alexandra Lagacete in the first half. Reports say that it is the Parisians' fifth Ligue 1 loss this season, all of them in 2023, and leaves Christopher Galletier's side just 6 points ahead of both second-placed Lens and Marseille in third. And still in sports now, Chelsea have sacked manager Graham Potter after less than 7 months in charge following Saturday's 2-0 home defeat by Aston Villa. It was the Englishman's 11th defeat in 31 games since replacing Thomas Tuchel at Stamford Bridge on 8 September. The club, in a statement, also announced that Bruno Salto will take charge of the team as interim head coach. In his time with the Chelsea, Potter has taken the club to quarterfinals of the Champions League, where they will face Real Madrid. Chelsea have dropped to 11th in the Premier League, 12 points outside the top four, having spent more than of £550 million on new players this season. Meanwhile, the club's owners said they were disappointed to sack Porter, adding that Porter had agreed to collaborate with the club to facilitate a smooth transition. On our entertainment news, Oscar nominee Paul Mescal, Killing Eve star Jodie Comer, and My Neighbor Totoro have all triumphed at the 2023 Olivier Awards. Reports say Mescal won Best Actor for A Streetcar Named Desire, while Comer won Best Actress for Prima Facie, and My Neighbor Totoro won 6 Oliviers. The award was held at London's Royal Albert Hall, where Totoro's wins, including Best Entertainment or Comedy Play plus Best Director, was hosted by Ted Lasso star and 3-time Olivier nominee Hannah Waddingham. And still in entertainment, Kosi has emerged winner of the Big Brother Titans after 3 months. She was crowned the winner during the final of the Yakale Wahala edition. Reports say after beating 23 housemates during the show that lasted for 72 days, Kosi goes home with the grand prize of $1,000, over 15 million naira cash prize, including endorsement deals. Recall that Big Brother Titans premiered on January 15, 2023 with contestants from both Nigeria and South Africa and was hosted by Lawrence Maleka and Ebuka Obi Uchendu. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do well to follow us on all our social media handles and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website at spectrumtv.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 12. My name is Janice Cobham. Do have a great afternoon.